All In Sports Network. We love sports.
Coming to you from the land of brisket and barbecue, Lone Stars and Longhorns, this is All In Colts presented by the Unstable Blues.
Welcome back in. It's time to step into the Colts corner as we discuss the offseason moves of the organization. This week, Super Bowl over, we will take an early look at the draft prospects of the Colts positions of need we identify. This is part 2. So let's go. All In Colts.
That is correct. I'm Kevin. This is my son Liam. We are the Unstable Blues. Happy to present All In Colts as part of the Rogue Media Sports Network.
Yep. No offseason news.
Nope.
There's nothing.
Once again, nothing
really
yet.
to do.
Nothing yet. Although there is a former linebacker, or still current linebacker with the Bengals, who has requested a trade and is reported to have been close with Lou Amaruno.
I heard something about Trey Hendrickson as well. Don't know exactly about that, so he may be up there for grabs for the Colts as well. We may talk about that in a bit, but we may not. You'll have to wait and find out. But we left off with wide receivers, so we're going to pick up with wide receivers. How about you start it off?
All right. Top of my list, Xavier Restrepo from Miami. Not sure if he's going to be around when the Colts might draft a wide receiver. As we've mentioned, I don't think the Colts are going to be in the first 3 rounds with wide receivers. So they're looking into day 3 for wide receiver help. I doubt that Restrepo will be there. I doubt that a lot of these guys will be there, except for maybe some of my bottom guys here. But I am going to give you some credit and give you two LSU boys sandwiched in the middle with an Ohio State guy. So it's a little bit of me and some of you. How's that?
Yes.
You are the on the wide receiver from LSU train. So Luther Burden the third from LSU, and then I have Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State, stuck around on purpose just to work with their fabulous freshman. Almost called him a rookie, kind of with NIL.
Yeah.
And then I got Kyron Lacey from LSU. Honestly, he may be the number 1 from LSU. It's kind of close there. And then somewhat of a wild card, Tez Johnson, brother of Bo Nix from Oregon. My concern is somewhat the same concern as Xavier Worthy and Devontae Smith, for that matter. The legs look a little spindly. I understand that it doesn't matter if you're on the playing outside quite a bit, but when you play at the next level, you tend to need to bulk up a little bit. And so Tez Johnson, a little skinny in the legs for me. And then also from Oregon, Evan Stewart is on my board. And so Evan Stewart is the one I'm really looking at. Maybe Kyron Lacey if they get lucky, but I'm not so sure. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for possibilities for wide receiver for the Colts.
Yeah. Really, in all honesty, we have younger guys. I think you need to go out there and get an older guy that's willing to stay with you. I said last episode in part 1 of this that you need to go out and get free agents this offseason, and I'm not joking. I think the draft is important, but I don't think it's as important as free agency this year because you have so many youngsters. You need older guys to teach them how to do it because you also have a younger coach, like in all actuality. But the 3 guys I do have are the 2 LSU guys you said and Egbuka from Ohio State. I will give you 2, though, to look out for in coming drafts. kind of obvious, though. Jeremiah Smith, who Egbuka came back for,
Of course.
and also Ryan Williams, Alabama. 17-year-old freshman shocked the country.
Yep. Agreed. Good future there. And this is all that you bring up a good point, because so often we get so concerned with this year's draft, but a lot of times it comes down to, when you're really good at the drafting process, projecting your future draft needs and those future prospects. For instance, if you know that you don't need a wide receiver right now, but you may need a wide receiver when it comes to the end of Anthony Richardson's rookie contract. You might need a younger receiver in 2 years.
So then try and get trade capital for that so you can get some
Right.
of the high value guys.
Exactly. So you're kind of playing a little bit of chess in the future at that point. So projecting who will be there and your needs at that time. Which leads us then to quarterback.
Yes.
And this conundrum that surrounds the Colts right now, where is Anthony Richardson truly, absolutely the future? Or is he not? And that factors into whether you think you need a veteran quarterback to help support him, or if you think you might need a rookie quarterback to replace him.
Yeah. I personally believe that AR is the guy. He is going to work out with, I forget his name, but that trainer that helped Josh Allen.
Yep.
Don't count AR yet. Give him his full rookie contract, which is why I say do not draft any quarterbacks at all. I will say the name. Go out there and go get Jameis Winston.
I hear you.
Jameis Winston's mentality is, I want that on my team.
Special moment last week on Radio Row at the Super Bowl with when he was on Pat McAfee's show. I shared this with you. The platform that Jameis Winston has right now, because of just what he had done with his pregame speeches and his unwaveringness to share Jesus with people. Pat was asking him about his prayers and planning them and things like that, and Jameis unashamedly on the Pat McAfee show said, let's pray right now. And he started praying in power over Pat McAfee and his guys, that almost to the point of like it was a prayer with conviction, if that makes sense. Like he was convicting them with his prayer that God would work through that show and everything that they have going on to use their platform for Jesus. And I was blown away. Like the gumption it takes for him to use his platform that he was given to influence the platform of somebody who has a much bigger, broader platform right now. Just amazing. So I totally see you. But here's where I'm at. Comes down to some money. I think it is better to build with veterans at wide receiver and at tight end. I mean, you can go both ways with tight end at the same time, but give Anthony Richardson more weapons to work with and go out and at the same time build in cheap competition. As I mentioned, this wide receiver class, I don't address as deep as I do wide. There are many different
Wait,
flavors.
wide receiver or quarterback?
Quarterback. Sorry,
Okay.
did I say wide
Yeah,
receiver? My
yes,
bad.
you didn't. It's all
My
good.
bad.
I auto corrected in my head the quarterbacks, but then I was
Okay.
like, oh wait, hold on.
I appreciate the correction there. This quarterback class is not deep, it is wide. What I mean by that is there are many different flavors of a mid-range quarterback. And so I'm looking at a couple different criteria, both that are represented here. One, I no matter who the quarterback backup is, to me, it has to be a similar or same style to Anthony Richardson, so that if your quarterback goes down, which Anthony Richardson has shown a propensity to do, you don't have to change the offensive system because that messes with the rest of the people on the offense. The offensive line has to block differently, has to scheme differently, has to pick up blitzes differently. The wide receivers have to adjust to a different, not just a different throwing motion, but all kinds of different routes. All of a sudden, your running back, if you've got a pocket passer, is being hounded. It just changes a lot. So keep similar style of quarterback. Jameis Winston is a great example of how that could work. That's why I'm looking at a guy like Kevin Jennings from SMU out of the draft.
I like it.
Very similar kind of style.
Reminds me of Tyler Huntley a little bit as well.
A little bit like Tyler Huntley, yes. Very. This is hard to throw up. A little Lamar-esque, not necessarily to that level, but that's why you're maybe a little bit more on with Snoop. And then the other thing I'm looking for, which Kevin Jennings does not fit, is experience. I'm looking at where did it go wrong potentially with Anthony Richardson. Not that it has totally. I'm not throwing in the towel, but where did it potentially go wrong? And that's the inexperience. The Colts went all in on traits and upside and didn't have the experience that we saw with like a Bo Nix, who was able to come in and do amazing things. Even Jaden Daniels playing in two different systems at two different places with a lot of experience and at high level, where Anthony Richardson had one full year at Florida. So that's why I'm looking at Will Howard, and my real darling of this entire draft that I've been saying the whole time since the beginning of the college season was Dillon Gabriel.
Yep.
He now holds the record for most games played by a college quarterback. Started at UCF and then went to the mighty Oregon for the last year of his eligibility, and is still somehow overlooked and could be available, I believe, in the 4th, maybe even 5th round.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that would be a steal.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
Now, linebacker.
I'm gonna be straight honest here. Linebacker, or the next 3 positions, including linebacker, I have no one for, because I do not think we need to draft anyone. I'm gonna spoil one of the positions real quick. The Colts had so many defensive linemen last year. We do not need any more. The linebackers, we have a lot of linebackers as well. I don't think we need any more, especially if we keep EJ, which I don't know if you should, but knowing Ballard, this is something that I've grown to do. Knowing Ballard, the Colts are going to keep speed, so I don't think
I don't know. They let Okirike go just because they didn't have the money to spend that he was worth. EJ may have worked himself into that position. Plus, as a locker room, this is a chance to break up the podcast problem without breaking it up.
It's true.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like if you eliminate one half of the podcast, I mean, shout out to the trenches. Then it can't really continue to go the
Yeah.
way it has.
Yeah.
Right?
I still stand by my
Something's gotta change.
decision, though.
I hear you. I hear you. I'm gonna throw out a couple names: Jihad Campbell from Alabama, Barrett Carter from Clemson, and Smile SMAEL
Smile.
Smale. Let's go with that.
Smile.
Smale Mondon out of Georgia. So those are my linebacker picks. I'm with you. That if I had my pick, I would much rather have Greenlaw, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Dre Greenlaw. Yeah. That would be my pick of all picks for linebacker.
Yeah, I agree because isn't he kind of a pass coverage or is he?
Yeah.
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 So which is what Indy needs.
But the guy from Cincy and the guy from Cincy may be a little bit cheaper and have that connection.
It's true.
So
it's true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Anybody from the edge then?
Hendrickson.
You know who
else? You know who else? Garrett.
Miles Garrett.
No one in the draft. I
That's
saw a suggestion.
Gonna happen. He wants to go to a winner, and the Colts cannot classify themselves as a winning. I
saw a suggestion that you trade away AR and a couple of picks or something like that for Miles Garrett, and I'm like, then you have a whole quarterback situation again. You sure you want that?
No. I saw a Cincinnati fan say that that they would trade away this linebacker who I just keep calling him a linebacker. So I forget his name. Jermaine something or other. That Cincinnati should trade away Jermaine and their first round pick this year for Quentin Nelson.
I don't think Quentin's leaving.
I'm
good.
I just say that is the stupidest thing I have heard in a long time.
I'm good.
Yeah, that's absolutely not happening. So okay, just because I'm gonna throw out Jack Sawyer. I mean, obviously, at Ohio State. But are they gonna go for an edge in the first round again? Probably not, unless Lou Amaruno is like, I see the opportunity to put Latu and Jack Sawyer together and have two Trey Hendricksons on one team. That kind of only happens if you create some cap room and, make some hard decisions. And then little darling favorite, Mikhail Kamara out of IU. Like him. Kind of a bigger edge guy. So you could see him kind of playing both inside and outside. Might be a good pairing there behind Grove and Buck to pair with some rotational pieces and stuff.
Yeah.
And then Jordan Birch out of Oregon. If you're sensing a theme, I like Oregon.
I don't blame you. There
was a lot of good stuff from them this year.
Yes.
Anything defensive tackle?
No. Sorry, I was trying to think if there was any free agents I could name. No, there's not.
Okay.
That's like my position. I'm like, you don't get a defensive tackle.
Honestly, this is. I think this is more value than edge. A lot of edge. I think that the Colts maybe need some young depth because of the contracts and when they might end, and thinking of that kind of stuff, and training guys up in a system. Obviously, Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant are right up there, the terror at tackle from Michigan this year. But they probably won't be available when the Colts are maybe looking more in the 4th, 5th round. And so I'm looking at another Oregon guy.
Oh,
Dick
wow.
Carmen at Oregon.
Who's I don't know if he's coming in the draft. Isn't there wasn't the IU D tackle really good too? What
Well,
West, something like that, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure if
I
he's
don't
up.
know exactly what his class is though.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah,
He's
he
definitely
takes up
something special
space in the
too.
middle, right? But
Reminds me a bit of a Grove.
it all kind of depends on what Lou Amaruno wants to do, what he wants to
Sure.
build, and
Yeah.
we not sure we have a good grasp on that at this point.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
that's it for today. We will be back next week with another Colts Corner episode. We will lay out our complete off-season plan as if we were the GM. We will also have a new off-season update from the South, where we will look at the other teams from the AFC South, and another installment of Hall Ball, where we will track other Indiana sports teams, all which are currently better than the Colts.
Yes. This is Liam
And this is Kevin.
reminding you to stay all in Colts.
All in Sports Network. We love sports.